Previously, on A Vinekin's Revenge, the sisters hear the chapel doors open and see a couple of townsfolk entering in and finding their seats among the pews. Celine motions Morgwen to sit in one of the pews since the service is about to start. As the service continues, Morgwen sees Martin going up to the altar, and the crowd all voted for him to be the next priest to lead Wildbourne Chapel. However, he notices that the communication between him and Kevin is still weak. Martin looks among the attendees and announces, "We need to continue the service in Evervale Hollow. Kevin is trying to communicate with me, and I cannot seem to connect with him. So everyone, follow me, and we shall go." Martin turns around to grab the crown of thorns lying on the altar, and he motions everyone to light a couple of torches and follow him into Evervale Hollow. Celine looks at Morgwen and tugs on her sleeve to catch her attention. "Come on, let's go." Morgwen nods, following Celine, and Morgan's mind starts to race. Why is Martin carrying that crown? Is he wanting to turn into a Vinekin himself? As the congregation follows Martin's lead, vines start to move and the trees start to sway. They all make it to the entrance of Evervale Hollow. Martin takes a torch and speaks. "Oh, Kevin, oh, almighty Kevin, show us the way and lead us to the altar." And suddenly, the forest moves, and a clear, straight path is formed in the middle of the forest. Martin smiles and says, "Thank you, Kevin, for your guidance, for we are your loyal followers." And now they head into Evervale Hollow. Hello, adventurers! It is I, Solus Venture, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of Part 8 of A Vinekin's Revenge. And now we are getting into Part 9, which I cannot believe it is Part 9 right now. All right, okay, so we are making our way through Evervale Hollow. Okay, so as you heard in the snippet, I did kind of like the idea of Kevin kind of forming the way for the congregation to join him because these are his loyal followers, and the forest path to that altar and just like through the forest changes at night because that is Kevin's kind of protective mechanism, I guess. So people can easily get lost here. And so we have Morgwen over here, and this guy is Martin, and this one's going to be Celine. So, and then we have a few other extra participants of the chapel over here. So basically, Martin is leading the way to the stone altar over there. So everyone is kind of following his lead. And I would say Morgan is probably very stressed because she absolutely hates Kevin, but they do not know that yet. I'd say that Morgan's kind of trying to keep a low profile and blend in because, I mean, this is her sister, and they did just reconnect, and so I don't think she wants to reveal yet to her sister kind of the mayor's plan about plotting against the Wildbourne Chapel. Yeah, I feel like Morgan's just gonna blend in and kind of see like what is going on, and so I will say Kevin is over here waiting at the altar. And so here is Martin, and then we have everybody else following kind of the way there. And so there is a clear straight path. I know it doesn't really look like it on the map here, but how I'm imagining it is there's a clear straight path that Kevin has formed for his loyal followers. And so now the service is going to continue. So Martin has been voted to be the next priest. So actually, I'm going to make a note here really quick. So Martin is the new priest. He has been anointed. And so, but his communication with Kevin was weak at the chapel. And so they're all in Evervale Hollow to kind of see if they can kind of fill in the gaps there and actually communicate better with Kevin. And so I'll say here, Evervale Hollow for better communication. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I would assume that they're just going to be continuing the service. And Martin did bring that crown of thorns. And if you remember in my blog, for Vineamorphosis to occur, the person has to wear the crown, and they have to be on the altar there for Kevin to perform Vineamorphosis and turn this human into a Vinekin. And so I would imagine that Martin would want to be a Vinekin, hence why he brought the crown of thorns with him. I did play a little bit offline to just kind of see the details of what was going on in the service, and that's kind of what I came up with. And so we are going to roll, hold on, so this would be turning point 8, and I would say that this is a development over here, and we are going to see what the new theme is. So yeah, so we will see here. We will roll. Okay, so we got 2, so it is tension. Okay, so we'll say this is, there is going to be some tension now in this scene. So let's see what the next scene will look like here. Yeah, okay, so let's see. Oh, whoops. Where is that table? Oh yeah, here. Okay, so we will go ahead and roll and see. Okay, so we got 79, and let's see what 79 says in our adventure crafter. 79, so let's see what is happening in 79. It says here a travel setting. I'm gonna look in like the bigger kind of version of this with more details. This turning point takes place in a traveling vehicle. Oh, interesting. Okay. For instance, a ship at sea, a train, a ship hurtling through space, etc. Okay, I'm kind of like pushing the, I guess, the interpretation here, but I'm gonna interpret that as like maybe Kevin's vines moving. So yeah, okay, so we'll say, I guess that kind of fits. So travel setting. So I'm gonna interpret that as like some sort of movement, and I would say that Kevin's vines moving along here would be kind of related to that plot point. So I'll say here, Kevin's vines moving. Oh, whoops, there we go. So Kevin's vines moving, and I'd imagine that Kevin is probably looking forward to the service to finally appoint a new priest and try to, I mean, Morgwen knows this, but I don't think the congregation does, but to kind of possibly form an army of Vinekins. So there is this theory that Morgwen thinks that Kevin's going to make an army of Vinekins here. Okay, cool. So I guess we will continue the scene here. So as they are continuing the service, Morgwen at this point is probably also interested in seeing if she can locate Graf as well. So Graf is the local blacksmith of Thornmere who was framed by Sayoa, who's a member of the Wildborn Church, but secretly working for the mayor. Was framed by Sayoa, and Sayoa was actually the one who murdered the priest, hence why they are appointing a new one here. So I would imagine that Kevin would want to communicate with Martin, and at the same time, Morgwen is also trying to like look around in her surroundings for graph or any hint, I guess. So I wonder. So it is night, and Martin does have a torch here. So I'm probably gonna say it's like what, 9 o'clock now at this point. And so I feel like if she would want to, I feel like Morgan would want to kind of look around as this is like happening here to try to look for Graf. So I think she's gonna turn to her sister. She's probably gonna say something like, I kind of just want to take like a little bit of stroll through the forest, and I wonder if her sister Celine would think that is odd. I think I will do a will check here to see if she's able to convince her sister that she just wants to go on a walk, and her sister won't think won't think that it's strange. Okay, 15. Okay, so that is a fail. So her sister's probably going to say, hey, like, I don't think a walk is a good idea. This forest can be dangerous sometimes, and I think it's best if you just stay close. So I think Morgwen, without wanting to draw too much attention to herself, she's going to just stay close to the congregation and the ceremony kind of happening right now. So I think I'm just going to say, Morgwen stays for service, and she doesn't want to come off as like, I don't know, acting weird. But I do want to see if Morgwen was actually able to notice anything. I am going to say that she is holding a torch, because torches were given to a couple people at the Wildborn Church. So I wonder if she's going to try to like look around and like see. So it is kind of hard to see at night, of course, even with just one torch here. But I'm going to ask the fate chart, I guess, how likely is it that Morgan's going to notice something in her surroundings relating to Graf? So, yeah. So I'm going to say it's very unlikely. Yeah, so let's see here. Whoops. What did I get? A 54. Okay, yep, very, very unlikely. So it's definitely hard for her to notice things visually. I wonder if she can hear anything. So I'm also gonna say, actually, for hearing, I would imagine that would be 50-50, because communication right now is happening between Kevin and Martin, but so I feel like she would still be able to kind of hear around her surroundings. So I would say 50-50. Like, I wonder if she hears anything. Okay, 71. So that is a no. Okay, so she can't hear anything in her like surroundings that might be relating to Graf and his disappearance. And also along with that, she can't really like see much here. So, all right. So I'd imagine that Morgwen is getting a little bit stressed that Martin is about to put on the crown of thorns and Kevin to perform Vineamorphosis. So I do want to ask the fate chart if there are any disturbances in the service right now. So I want to see if it's like a smooth sailing like service, I guess. Yeah, so I just want to see really quick what the tone is. 0. Okay, so I guess I would take that as a yes, and that the service is continuing smoothly. I kind of want to see too what kind of conversation, I guess. Tone. Conversations, yeah, here. Okay, so yeah, I want to see what the conversation is like between Kevin and Martin over here. So, abuse. Okay, so we have abuse, and what is that? Frightening. Oh, interesting. Okay. I wonder if Kevin... I wonder why Kevin is being maybe tense with Martin here, or like frightening or something. Okay, so I'm gonna write down really quick. So service is continuing smoothly, but for whatever reason, the communication between them is a little tense. So there is what was the word? Abuse. And what was the other one? Frightening. Oh, what if Kevin doesn't want Martin to be the priest? I wonder. Okay, let me ask the fate chart here. Does Kevin want Martin to be the priest? Because I wonder if it's somebody else that he would want. Okay, so 46. Oh god, what was I thinking? 50-50? And I think so I asked, does Kevin want Martin to be the priest? Okay, so it says here, yes, but he does seem a little hesitant. Oh, I wonder if Kevin can sense Morgwen's like fear. So I'm gonna ask the fate chart, can Kevin sense Morgwen's fear? Maybe. 41. Ooh, yes. Okay. So Kevin is saying... So Kevin is tense and senses maybe someone fake in the congregation. Senses an outsider. Yeah, okay. So it is... So maybe he does want to continue this, but he is worried that there is someone in the crowd that is an outsider and not a true follower. PC is not a true follower. Okay. So I think this will relate to the travel setting here. Kevin can sense that there is an outsider in this congregation, and Morgwen is probably getting freaked out a little bit. And so I wonder if maybe Kevin's like vines kind of snap at her a little bit. So let's see. Does Kevin's vines start to snap at Morgwen? 79. No. Okay. So it says there, no. So maybe he's not like snapping at Morgwen, but he can just sense that there's an outsider. So he will probably just speak to Martin now. So let's see. Is Kevin able to speak to Martin now? 64. No, not yet. Okay, so I wonder if it's because of this outsider. So Martin will probably announce to the crowd, there is an outsider among us who doesn't belong here. And so Morgan probably turns to Celine, and Celine is probably freaking out a little bit. And so Morgan is probably saying, I think I should get going. I don't know if I like belong here. And so let's see. I wonder what Celine's response is. So I think I'm gonna roll on that table again of the conversations. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna roll here on the character conversations. So 37. So foolish. Interesting. Let's see. So maybe she's kind of saying like, you should just devote yourself to Kevin. Yeah, so maybe she's the one who's just saying like, trying to convince the congregation that everything's okay. This is my twin sister, and she is just wanting to know what the service is like. And oh wait, I forgot, because they are twins, they are kind of wanted to... Oh, but I think I rolled earlier that no one in the church really, or no one in the chapel really acknowledges the fact that they are like twins. I don't think they really know about the Cormick twin sisters wanted. So I think they are safe. I'll say it's very likely that they are safe, and that no one in the chapel recognizes that they are the Cormick twin sisters who are wanted. Okay, no. Yep, so they are good. So no one recognizes them. Okay. So she's probably telling Morgwen that she has to maybe like bow down or something to show Kevin that he can trust her. So I'd imagine Morgwen would probably be hesitant, and so I feel like she would say no, maybe. But I feel like she also has to, because she like doesn't want to make a scene here. So I would say Martin will probably invite Morgwen to come up. Yeah, so he would invite her to come up and ask her to devote her life to Kevin here. And I would imagine that Morgwen would say no, and that she's simply there for the service. And so, yeah, so I would say she would say no, thank you to Kevin and Martin, and I want to see how Kevin responds. I feel like he would snap at her and say no. So let's see here. Okay, yep, so that is definitely a yes, that he would snap at her. So his vines probably ensnare her because she said no. But I wonder if she can do a dex save to see if she can like dodge it. Okay, so that is a 12. So she was able to avoid the vines from ensnaring him. But Martin's probably warning her and saying like, no, like you should accept, or else Kevin will get angry. Okay, so maybe a lot of things are probably running through her head right now, and so I'll say Kevin's vines want to ensnare her, but there is a dex save and she was able to dodge. But Martin is saying that she needs to just bow down here. So I wonder, what if that's just all that she needs to do? Why can't she just like bow down but not really like mean it, you know? So okay, I think she really does just have to like bow down. Okay, so Morgwen is going to bow down. I'll put her on the side to make it look like that she's lower, so bending down. I'm just going to represent that as her bending down there. And so I wonder if that is at least good enough for Kevin there. So let's see. Because I'm pretty sure she's also wondering if she can befriend Kevin or like have like a built trust with him. I wonder if she's able to use that to her advantage to like figure out where Graf is and like the whole situation with like the mayor and the town and stuff. So let's see. I'll probably say it is likely that Kevin would at least just take her bowing down there. Oh, 97. Wow. Okay, so that is a no, and not enough. Okay, so Morgwen is probably, or sorry, Kevin is probably saying that that is not enough, and that she needs to do something to show loyalty, maybe. And I wonder what she needs to do. So she needs to show loyalty of some sort. And so I wonder if there is something that she has to do to please Kevin. Oh my god, I just had a thought here. What if she needs to be the one to put the crown of thorns on Martin? I kind of want to see what that is like. So is that a yes or a no? Ooh, that is a yes. Okay, so Kevin says over here, PC needs to put the crown on Martin. Okay, so he is saying that she needs to put the crown on Martin here. All right, but I know that she has read the history behind Kevin and and Vineamorphosis, and how putting on that crown is the final thing for Vineamorphosis to occur. I wonder if Kevin has like this feeling of that's why she's been like hesitant, that she's learning about all these things about him and kind of his plans maybe. So she is forced by Kevin to put on the crown of thorns on Martin here, and I feel like she wouldn't do it. Okay, yeah, I feel like she wouldn't do it because then that would obviously mean Vineamorphosis would like occur. Yeah, oh man, this is getting dangerous. So I know Martin turning to a Vinekin would be dangerous. So I wonder if she's gonna like do something to kind of like stop it. Okay, so PC is nervous. About Martin the priest turning into a Vinekin. Okay, so I wonder, you know what? I think what Morgwen's gonna try to do is probably burn the crown, because I know that he is holding a torch. So Martin's holding a torch, and I wonder if she's able to like burn the crown or something to prevent Vineamorphosis from happening. Okay, so this is how I am imagining it. So she's probably gonna go up behind Martin to put the crown on his head. She's going to hold the crown, but she's gonna aim to drop it on the torch so then it could burn probably. Okay, yeah, so that I think is what I want to do, and I want to see, I don't know, I feel like that would be some sort of check or something, because it is like she has to act like fast, because if she does it too slow, I can see Kevin observing her and he's gonna like do something in response. Yep, so this is what's gonna happen. So she is going to do a dex check to see how fast that she can just get that crown and drop it right on top of the torch so then it could burn. So let's see here. She's able to do it. Oh, I hope so. 15. Oh, okay, no. So as she has the crown, I'd imagine that the crown like falls on the ground then. And that probably freaks out Kevin and Martin. Martin's probably going to turn to her and say like, "Excuse me, can you like put this on my head correctly?" And so she's probably going to try again. So I want to see if anyone found that like odd. I feel like no, not really, that she just like dropped it, because she could also be disguising it as just being nervous. Okay, yeah, 24. So I'd imagine that oh wait, sorry, god, my mind is going so fast. Okay, so 50-50, yes or no, do people start to realize that that's a little odd there, that she just dropped it on the ground? Okay, 36. Oh, okay, so that is a yes, so they did find it odd. Okay, so Morgwen drops crown, and the crowd start to see that that's like a little weird, and they found it odd because she was aiming for the torch. Yeah, aiming for the torch here. Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm picturing it. So she was aiming for the torch, but she dropped it. It lands on the ground. People think that that's kind of weird, and they're probably looking at her like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to like sabotage this? So I wonder if anyone in the crowd or Kevin steps in and like puts on the crown instead of her or something. So let's see, does anyone else put on the crown for Martin? 57. Oh no. Okay, so no one does, and maybe Kevin is just telling her do it again. And so she's gonna try. I would think that she would try again to do a dex save here. Ooh, I want her to burn that crown. 4! Okay, yes! Okay, that was a success. So, I'm gonna say here, does it again, and burns the crown. Okay, so she does it again. So she takes the crown and she aims for the torch, and unfortunately the crown is now singed because of the torch. And so everyone is probably like freaking out, asking like, why did you do that? And I would imagine Kevin is getting very, very upset, and I would want to see if there is if he starts to snap at Morgwen here. Celine's probably in shock too. So I'll probably say very certain, I'm going to say certain, that Kevin, in response to what she did to that crown, is going to try to fight her. So let's see if it is a definite yes or no. Yep, it is a yes. We got a 65. Okay. So Kevin is probably going to say, how dare you? I am upset. And he's probably going to snap at Morgwen now. And so now Kevin is angry and he wants to fight Morgwen now. All right, okay. So now he's probably going to want to fight Morgwen. I would imagine that his vines are about to charge at her, and is she able to dodge? We'll do another dex save here. 7. Okay, yes. So she is able to dodge, and maybe at this point she's grabbing her sword and she is kind of like waving it around to try to avoid getting hit by one of his vines there. And so I wonder in response if Celine is going to either like help her or run away, because I feel like with all of his vines kind of going crazy now, people in of Wildborn Chapel are probably going to try to run away, probably even Martin over here. So I feel like everybody a part of the chapel is going to try to avoid getting ensnared by Kevin's vines, because he's very angry now. So I wonder if Celine would want to try to help Morgwen. So let's see here. I would say 50-50. 25. Okay, cool. So it looks like Celine does want to help Morgwen. Yeah, okay. So maybe Celine has like a torch and is trying to protect Morgwen, and as well as like give her visibility, right? And so I'd say at this point these guys are now gone, and Kevin's just angry and he really wants to unalive Morgwen over here. So these people are now gone, so they have ran away. Okay, yeah, so they have ran away, and let's see how this interaction goes with the three of them here. So let's see. So Morgwen was able to dodge one of his vines attacking, and let's see if Morgwen is at least able to attack and maybe charge at Kevin, maybe at his like trunk or something. I would imagine that she would have to do a dex save to try to run up as quickly as she could to his trunk there. So let's see. Okay, 14. All right. So it looks like that she wasn't able to get there fast enough, and a vine was able to knock her off to like the side here. So she's probably far now. And so I wonder if Celine is being... Actually, no, I don't think Celine would be targeted, because he just really wants Morgwen gone. So I wonder if Morgwen is going to try to like stand her ground and try to strike at one of his vines coming at him. So, or one of his vines coming at her. So we'll do another dex save here. Ooh, 18. Okay, so that was a fail. So it looks like one of his vines really snapped at her, and I would imagine that she got hit. Yeah, so I would say she probably has 4. I would imagine that would be like, what, 4 health points at that. Yeah, so she's probably down to 4 health points and she's injured. Now that I think about it, I've never done combat yet with CAIRN. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I never actually made like stats for Kevin, but yeah, now that I think about it, I should have prepped that. Yeah, honestly, I think at this point she would want to try to escape. So I want to see if there's anything that she can see. Oh, I do remember that there was something. I wonder if there are maybe if there's like something under the altar. Okay, wait, yeah. I wonder if there. I'm gonna ask the fate chart. Is there something under the altar? Is there like an opening under like the stone altar and columns where she can like hide? So let's see here. Okay, yes. So 36. So at this point, Morgwen sees that there is an opening under the stone altar and columns, and she's probably going to signal to Celine that they should go run and hide under here. Like maybe there's like an underground like cavern or something. And so I'd imagine they would do a dex save to try to avoid more of his vines snapping at them. So let's see here. 11. Okay, that was a close one. So I'm just going to say that I'm going to roll that for the both of them. So they both make it under the altar there, the little like opening, and I would say that it leads them into maybe a cave. Yeah. Ooh, okay. This is looking cool. Okay, yeah. So I would say at this point, they are now underground in some sort of cave. And I would say that with like Kevin's with Kevin's like vines and movement, I would imagine that all of that like soil and roots would actually close the entrance of that cave, and so they are now they are trapped. They are trapped, and maybe Kevin is like confused. Maybe they moved. Like, I wonder if Kevin can't find them anymore. Can Kevin find them underground? Because he would only really attack like on the surface level. So let's see. Okay, so that he was able to find them. Okay, so maybe that would mean they are now trapped in Kevin's vines and snare them. Maybe the vines cover their eyes and such, and they can't see, so they are completely ensnared. Oh man, okay, so maybe it wasn't a good idea to go into that cave or cavern now. Yeah, because now Kevin knows where they are. Oh man, okay. Well, that was a little chaotic, but I think I'm gonna stop there. And I kind of want to fix some of my notes to kind of figure out exactly what happened post failed service there. But yeah, so it looks like when Kevin realized Morgwen's resistance to crowning Martin, and she burned the crown of thorns, he got aggressive and he was trying to attack her, and he was able to deal a bit of damage to her, and she couldn't block it. But she did find an opening under the altar here, under the stone altar here, to try to see if she can avoid avoid him. And so Celine and Morgwen jump, and they were able to run and jump under into that opening. But unfortunately, Kevin's vines, they were able to follow and track them, and now they are completely intertwined in his vines, and they are now trapped under the altar. So I wonder what will happen next. So it is night, so I am kind of hoping that maybe in the morning Kevin will be asleep and he wouldn't be super active, and maybe Morgan is able to kind of wiggle her way out of the vines to get out. So we will see next time what that looks like. But man, this is getting intense. But anyways, I am really enjoying this adventure here, and I love that Celine is able to help out her twin sister. So that's good. Well, anyways, thank you so much, adventures. I will write up a blog about part 9, so stay tuned for that, and I'll keep you posted when that is up and ready for you guys to read if you'd like. And then we will continue on to part 10, and we will see what will happen next now that they are trapped underground and completely ensnared by his vines. So we'll see what will happen next time. All right, well, thank you so much, adventures. Till next time.